Every person who is successful fails, but not everyone who fails becomes successful. So what is the difference? Hi beautiful soul, hi gorgeous, welcome in. My name is Inès. Today I'm taking you behind the scenes of the journey, through the ups, the downs and the quantum leaps. If you have ever thought, is this ever going to work? Then this video is for you. Watch till the end. I've been there. I've launched courses and got 0 sales for a while. I have uploaded videos and got crickets. And still I kept going. Why? Let me show you. Success is not a straight line. It's more like a rhythm or a wave. Imagine the ocean ebbing and flowing. And then it pulls back just before a big wave crashes on the shore. This is a little bit how success is. Like Earl Nightingale said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I love that definition. And I also love how my mentor, Dr. John DeMartini, sees success. It says something like, don't let success or failure stop you from fulfilling your mission. Because on the way, there are going to be oscillations of successes and failures. And when you have what we call failure, it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to refine what you were already doing and to learn some lessons that will help you for your next wave. Imagine a pendulum swinging back and forth. Swinging back, what we call failure, is just to create enough potential energy to be able to swing forward, what we call success. I've created those 4 courses, right? A New You, Feminine Rebirth, Divine Feminine Glow Up, Magnetic Queen Manifestation. I just love those. They are like my babies and have been so transformative in my own life. But for a while, I had 0 sales. If I stopped at 0 sales, then I wouldn't be there to experience the first sale. Now I have got the first sale, right? And because everything starts with 1, that first sale, it was like opening of the portal for success. You see, if you give up, you don't get the chance to succeed one day. But if you continue with perseverance, but also by learning the lessons and improving, refining what you are doing, then you are not just failing to fail, you are failing forward. For me especially, the day when I got my first sale, everything shifted. That's why I call the quantum leap. It's like one small shift, one small alignment, and the whole game is changed. Alright, now let's talk about what makes someone keep going. To be honest, there are times where it's hard, but other times it feels like you are just flowing and going with the waves of life. For those times when it's the hardest, it's because it is hard to fail. It is hard to keep showing up when you know that you are failing and everybody is witnessing your failure. That failure triggers all of your fears. And for me, it triggers the imposter syndrome, the fear of losing money, the fear of not being accepted the way I am, which is the fear of rejection. And then that failure also brings the doubt, the self-doubt, the doubt like, am I ever going to be successful like this? Am I crazy to think that it could work? And the hardest part is when you feel alone in this journey. Like in my family, no one around me has been able to create what I'm creating. No one has created an online course business. No one has created a YouTube channel. But with the power of the internet, I try to surround myself with examples of people online who created what I wanted. And that is what gave me faith and hope. Faith in possibility. Faith that if it's possible for them, then it could be possible for me. And that's what keeps me going. And then I understand that there is a bigger purpose behind everything that I do, because I make it a point to always follow my intuition, even if it doesn't make sense. And so I have a sense of having a mission that is bigger than myself. Like I've tried to let that mission and take the easier route, but it's not in alignment with me, and that's why something like a higher power or my intuition will be calling me back to that mission, to keep going, to keep persevering, because perseverance is exactly that, your faith. Faith is like seeing the invisible in your mind's eyes, in your imagination, and choosing to act anyway. A powerful shift that helped me is to understand that everything depends on our perception of it. So even failure is just a perception. If you think that you are failing and that is a reason to stop, then you miss on the opportunity to succeed one day. But if you see failure as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to be even more successful, as a natural part of the success process, as a natural part of your mission, because your mission will have both success and failure. Sometimes you think the grass is greener somewhere, but actually it's because you don't perceive the failures that person you are perceiving more successful in one area or many areas of life has gone through. Imagine that you think that somebody is more successful than you in financial terms. You don't know the story of that person to get to their success, right? The whole story, like including the past lives and everything, what they have been bringing to this life. Why does someone is born in a rich family and another person in a poor family? Well, if you come in a rich family, you have a higher chance to be well educated in financial matters from a younger age, and therefore you have a better ability to be financially independent very early on. But if you come from a family full of scarcity, full of poverty mentality, then it becomes difficult for you to have that success in life unless you choose to teach yourself those things. You choose to do your own inner work to replace those limiting beliefs around scarcity, around poverty, around the lack mentality, around the feeling that other people can succeed but not you. And it's done layers by layers. So start your journey right now. Perceive failure as opportunities to refine your game. If you lose one round of the game, it doesn't mean that you have lost the whole game. So it's like that. Life is a game. Will you stop playing just because you lost one round? No. Please continue playing, even just for the fun of playing. So if I create 4 courses and I have 0 sale and I say, oh, I failed, I might give up. But if I say, 0 sales, okay, this is feedback, this is data, what is it to learn here? What can I improve? Then I stay in the game, and then I increase my chances to one day have my first sale. That shift is so crucial. And think about it, if I stopped at 0 because I failed, then I will never have the chance to go to 1. And 1 is where everything begins. For any difficult thing in your life, your perception will shift everything. So if you perceive a crisis or a failure in your life, ask yourself what benefits are hidden in that experience, in that event, in that failure. If you can see how it is benefiting you, then you stop judging it as something bad. If you can see how the delays in your life have been actually helping you, then you stop thinking that is something bad. For example, in my journey on YouTube, I had a phase where I was neglecting my health, skipping meals, not sleeping enough. If I had success with that way of living, then I might be successful in the sense of many subscribers, right? But I'm not successful in the term of my health. I had to see my body break down to teach me that I was not on the right path. I lost hair, and my blood work was showing many deficiencies in iron, in magnesium, and so many other things. And I had to say, wow, this is a call to change my ways, to reprioritize my health, because it is something that I've been taking for granted already. I was so healthy that I thought, oh, I don't need to worry about that. But that call, what we can call a failure, that was actually a beautiful thing, a blessing in disguise in my life to help me to realign with what I really want, which is to empower and master all areas of my life and not just having success in one area, right? So I could go back to my life mission because of that event that happened in my life. What is it in your own life, something that you perceive like, oh, this was not so good, this was a failure, this was a crisis in my life? Those crises are here to help you balance and go back to center. Go back to realignment. Take that crisis in your own life, ask yourself, what are the benefits of this? Another example for me was this keloid growing on my chest, right? This was the catalyst that brought me to a quest to want to live holistically, to want to live healthily. And this is how I discovered the chakra system, the energy centers, and how when you balance them, you can live a beautiful life in all areas of life. And this is how I started being interested in yoga, because that is where I learned those energy centers, right? So that was also a blessing in disguise, because it has helped me to get into this way of doing the inner work, doing the personal development, empowering many areas of my life, right? Knowing what is possible. When you perceive like you have the imposter syndrome, it's probably because you are comparing yourself to somebody else. Dr. John DeMartini said this beautifully: compare your daily action to your own mission, to what is important to you. Because those persons online that you are comparing yourself to, you don't even know their real life. You only see what they are showing you. You only perceive what you want to see, but you don't know the whole story. I'm not deficient in iron and magnesium anymore because of the supplementation, right? But this is some aspect that you cannot see from my life if I don't share it with you. So be careful when you compare yourself to other people. You don't know how they are living when they are not in front of the camera. Maybe they don't have a family like you do that they have to take care of. Maybe they have more support. Maybe the background is so that they have an advantage, right? An unfair advantage, like you can call it. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it, The Unfair Advantage. Know that you have your own unfair advantages. It can be where you were born, it can be the skills that you have, or the money that you have, the resources that you have. It can be anything. If you have the wisdom, the intelligence to use those, then it makes you stand out immediately. It can be the way you look, right? So what are your own unfair advantages? Make use of them. And be aware of the unfair advantages of other people as well before you start comparing yourself to them. It was Emerson who said that envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide. Because when you envy someone, you don't even know the whole story of that person. You just see one aspect that you perceive and you think, oh, they are so better off on that aspect than me, and then you envy them for that. Do you know the whole story? Maybe if you knew the whole story, you wouldn't want to exchange with them. And imitation is suicide, because you have your own unfair advantages. You have your own set of skills, of talents that are unique to you, and trying to imitate someone else means that you will put that person on a pedestal, try to be like that person, and ignore, minimize your own talents, your own skills that were God-given to you for your own mission. So again, instead of comparing yourself to people around you, try to compare your own actions, your own daily actions, to what your mission is, to what your own God-given divine mission is. Because after all, that is what can give you fulfillment, not things that come from the outside. All right. Feminine energy doesn't work in linear ways. It works in cycle. It works in spirals. And I think it's the same with the quantum field. A good example for this is that one of my videos brought in 2/3 of my subscribers. This is not logical. This is quantum alignment. In my experience, it was more like many videos, crickets, nothing. And then one video, boom, shift, brings in a lot of people, changes everything. And I believe that is the magic of energy, because the quantum field responds to your frequency and not necessarily to your effort. Knowing what I now know, I can give you what I think is the real secret to success. Start with your energy, with your inner alignment. Start with what you are believing. If your subconscious mind believes it is hard, then it is going to be hard for you. But if it believes it is possible, then you start taking aligned actions. And that's why I shifted my belief to it is easy for me to learn anything, or I can handle any challenge that comes my way. And so on the journey, I expect that there will be support and challenge for any endeavor. And I'm saying, universe, I know that the only way to succeed is to tackle some challenges, but let it be easy and bring those challenges in. I'm ready. Let's bring them in. Because I know that the universe or God will never give you any challenge that you are not ready to tackle. So if you are facing a challenge, just know that it's time for your own next level. And that challenge is going to be easy for you to tackle. If you program your mind like that, if you believe that, then you are going to go through any challenge and make it look so easy. But if you think, oh, I want to avoid those challenges, you are going to get challenges anyway, because that is just what life does. It brings us challenges to help us grow. And so if you try to avoid those challenges, your experience going through those challenges is going to be not so pleasurable. Your journey through the challenges is not going to be so agreeable. On the contrary, if you think you are capable of tackling any challenges with ease, with people's support, then you don't have to fight, you don't have to effort. You know that challenges are just here to help you grow. When you love what you do, the stress becomes exciting, what we call eustress. You are eager for what is coming. A challenge should grow through, not something that breaks you down. When you don't love what you are doing, the challenges you face feels like they are breaking you. And this is distress that can really make your body decay. So reframe even stress and say to yourself, stress doesn't mean that I'm off track. It means that I am expanding. I really encourage you to keep going. Sometimes I go fast. It's like quantum leap. You go with the flow. Other times I go like a turtle, baby step by baby step. And it feels like, is it ever going to work, right? Those are just phases of the journey. Take them both and know that you are going to keep going with your love, with your fun, with excitement and enthusiasm, with inspiration. You keep going forward, because that is the game of life. You are inspired, you have a divine mission, and you keep going toward that mission. And your intuition is constantly guiding you toward your divine mission, your gift to the world. I take care of my energy, of my frequency, and I let the universe do the quantum leaps. Because when we are vibrating at a higher frequency, when we are doing our work from an inspired, relaxed state and not from a distressed state, then we are opening doors for miracles. And I don't need every step of the journey to make sense. I just take my divine inspiration, my divine guidance, and I go with that. This is how I am compensated for the work that I'm doing. Even when I'm going like a turtle, the universe finds ways to bring me abundance and wealth in other ways than my courses. This is how I was able to manifest money, not because I needed it, but just because I wanted to demonstrate my ability to attract money, to attract anything to me so easily. And that is the secret of your energy, of your alignment, of your frequency. Because I choose to trust God, I choose to trust the field, the universe, I trust my feminine energy, my inner guidance, and I trust that I'm never behind. I am just aligning and refining continuously, and there is no need to rush. There is no need to go faster, because there are miracles like quantum leaps that await me on the journey. So I trust my own rhythm, and I want to inspire you to do the same. No matter what your own mission in your life is, choose to trust your own rhythm. If this video spoke to you, then leave me a comment and share what perceived failure was actually a blessing in disguise in your life. And if you are on this path to create courses, to create something from your heart, know that you are not alone. I have created 4 soul-aligned courses to help you grow in confidence, in energy, in your ability to manifest abundance. If they spoke to you, then the links are in the description below. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Until next time, stay very inspired. I love you.